A few months ago, I was sitting with my portfolio open on my laptop and I was staring at one particular stock, an 85-year-old company known for building roads, bridges, metros. And I thought to myself, is this still relevant? Is this still the kind of company that belongs in a modern portfolio? And last week, when I sat down and read their full annual report for the last financial year, what I found inside that report was not what I expected at all. This company is partnering with Nvidia. It is acquiring cheap technology from Japan. It is building green hydrogen plants. And its confirmed future order book, the work it has already won and will now execute, stands at 7 lakh 40,000 crore rupees. I want to walk you through exactly what I found, my observations, my questions, and what I am personally watching going forward.
Hello everyone, welcome back. On this channel, I share my personal journey of trying to understand businesses and the financial world a little better. One company, one report, one honest conversation at a time. I am not a financial advisor. I am just someone who reads a lot of financial reports and tries to make sense of what is actually going on inside these big companies. Today, I want to share what I personally found when I went through Larsen and Toubro's L&T's integrated annual report. Cover to cover, we are going to look at their financial numbers, a brand new 5-year plan they have just launched, some big businesses they are choosing to exit, and the new areas they are moving into: AI, semiconductors, green energy, all of it. If L&T is already something you follow, I think this video will give you a lot to think about. And if you have never looked at this company before, I hope this gives you a useful starting point for your own research. If you are new here, please do subscribe. I do this kind of deep dive every week and it is completely free. Let us get into it. Let me be honest with you about where my head was before I read this report. When I thought of LR&T, I thought of cranes, concrete, big government projects, the kind of company that is solid, dependable, but maybe not very exciting for someone trying to understand where the world is going next. I think a lot of people who follow the markets feel this way about certain older companies. We put them in a mental box, and once they are in that box, we stop looking closely. That was my mistake, and this annual report pulled me right out of that lazy thinking. Because here is what I have come to understand: a great company does not stay the same, it keeps evolving. Think of it like a cricketer who started as a fast bowler, but over the years developed his batting, his fielding, his reading of the game. Same person, much more complete player. That is the story I personally see unfolding at L&T right now. Let me start with the numbers, because the numbers tell the foundation of the story. The total order book, in simple words, this is all the confirmed future work that L&T has already won and will execute over the coming years, reached an all-time record of 7 lakh 40,000 crore rupees. That is 27.8% growth compared to the previous year. Here is the way I personally understood this. Imagine a contractor who already has confirmed projects booked for the next several years. Their future revenue is not uncertain, it is largely already signed. That is the kind of visibility this number suggests to me. I found that quite striking. Group revenue grew 12% to 2 lakh 86,000 crore rupees. The company's net profit, what it keeps after paying all its expenses, grew 18% to 17,238 crore rupees. Now, the number that personally caught my attention the most, the debt to equity ratio. In simple words, this tells you how much borrowed money a company is carrying compared to its own money. L&T's improved from 0.6 to 0.35 in a single year. What this means is the company's balance sheet is getting lighter and stronger. I found that direction encouraging when I read it. They also announced a dividend of 38 rupees per share, which is the company sharing a portion of its earnings with shareholders. From what I read, the financial foundation here looks genuinely solid to me, but numbers are only one part of the story. L&T sold its stake in the Hyderabad Metro Rail to the Telangana government for 1,461 crore rupees. They are divesting a large power plant called Nabha Power to Torrent Power for an enterprise value of 6,889 crore rupees. And one of their tech subsidiaries is exiting a segment called Smart World and Communication. My first reaction, honestly, I was puzzled. Why is a company this size selling off parts of itself? But when I read further, the reasoning became clear to me. These are what the report calls long gestation assets. Think of it like this. You plant a mango tree, it takes years before you get fruit, and while you are waiting, you cannot use that land for anything else. Your capital is just sitting there, working slowly. What I understood from the report is that L and T looked at these businesses and made a deliberate choice, free up the capital that is sitting in slow moving assets and redeploy it into areas with faster and higher potential returns. It reminded me of something my father used to say about his shop. He would clear out the slow selling items from the shelf, not because the business was struggling, but because he wanted to make room for what was actually moving. That is the logic I see here. It looked like a disciplined, intentional decision to me, not a sign of weakness at all. This is the part of the report that I personally found most surprising because I was not expecting this from L&T at all. First, artificial intelligence and data centers. L&T has rebranded its data center business as Larsen Toubro, and they have announced a partnership with NVIDIA, the company that has become almost synonymous with the global AI infrastructure boom, to build what they are calling green AI factories in India at a gigawatt scale. In simple words, these are massive computing facilities that will run on clean energy. When I read this, I had to stop and reread it. This is a very different kind of L&T from what I had in my mental picture. Second, semiconductors. L&T has a chip design business called LTSCT. From what I read, they have acquired power module design assets from Fujitsu, a well-known Japanese electronics company, and forged a partnership with a Foxconn subsidiary for something called silicon carbide semiconductors. For context, in simple words, silicon carbide is a material that makes electric vehicle powertrains and industrial equipment work significantly more efficiently. It is considered a key material for the energy transition. I found this a very specific and deliberate technology bet, and I am personally watching how it develops. Third, green energy. They are advancing a green hydrogen facility in Panapat, and through a joint development agreement with Itochu Corporation, one of Japan's largest trading companies, they are working on a green ammonia project in Kandla, Gujarat. Green ammonia, in simple words, is essentially a way to store and transport clean energy over long distances. I found this a fascinating area to be building in right now, and here is the data point from the report that I keep coming back to. Green business segments now make up 51% of L&T's standalone revenues, more than half. That number told me that this transformation is not a future plan, it is already happening. I have a personal rule when research any company. Fall in love with the story too quickly and you stop seeing the risks clearly. So let me share the two things I am personally watching here. The first is geographic concentration. The GCC region, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and neighboring countries, accounts for roughly one third of L&T's annual revenue and a very large portion of its fresh order inflows. The geopolitical situation in West Asia right now has uncertainties. Management stated in the report that operations are running normally with no disruption to billing, collections, or on ground assets. I am taking note of that. But I am also continuing to watch this factor every quarter because concentration in one region is always something worth understanding clearly. The second is margins. In simple words, margins tell you how much profit a company makes for every 100 rupees of revenue. In the core infrastructure and energy segments, margins faced some pressure this year due to input cost increases and complexity in executing large projects. The company is managing it through financial hedging and project level measures, but it is something I personally want to track over the next few quarters to see the direction. These are not reasons for panic in my view, but they are things I think any thoughtful person following this company should have clearly in mind. So here is where I personally stand after reading this report. What I found was a company with a very large confirmed order pipeline, a noticeably cleaner balance sheet compared to last year, a clear 5-year strategic direction they are calling lakh 2031, and some genuinely surprising new bets in AI infrastructure, chip design, and green energy. The risks around Gulf concentration and margin pressure are real, and I will be watching them closely. This is not a conclusion. This is the beginning of my ongoing research into this company. and I will keep sharing what I learn. Now, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which part of what L&T is building next did you personally find most interesting. Was it the NVIDIA partnership, the semiconductor direction, or the green energy projects? I read every single comment on this channel, everyone. If this video was useful to you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this kind of content. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do it now. Next week, I am going to do a deep dive into another major Indian company's annual report in exactly this style. See you then. Take care, everyone.